CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screen.
There are plenty of things that we cover under the sun, and if
Yeah.
one of them needs to have some light shedded on them,
Yeah.
we can email us go ekse@capetowntv.org or dial us on 021-448-0448. We love hearing from you.
Yeah.
We also have a booming WhatsApp line, which is 060-391-8464. I just taught you say it. 060-391-8464.
Please don't put me on the spot like that. Ish,
Whoa.
ish, I'm getting fired today. But listen though, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have really important discussions like we always do. If you are a matriculant or anyone of that sort, if you are waiting for your results or anything like that, please do hop on our socials and let us know how you are feeling. I'm sure you are panicking.
Because there is
You are panicking. There's what?
pressure.
There's pressure. But listen, we're here to ease the pressure a little bit. We're going to be speaking to some really important people who know all about education when it comes to higher education. We are joined by Sibusiso from the South African Union of Students, as well as Aphelele, who was part of the SRC the previous year. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Sbu, for people who have what your position is and in your description at Aphelele, can you describe for us what is the SAUS?
Okay, no, thank you very much. Well, basically, the South African Union of Students, and that's what the acronym SAUS is all about, is the umbrella body of all student representative councils in all SRCs. So we are the national umbrella body that represent all the SRCs at a national level. So we are concerned about broadening access to institutions of higher learning and training, creating conducive environment whilst you are within these institutions, and of course, transforming the entire higher education sector. So those are part amongst other things that we do as the South African Union of Students.
You're representing both high scholars and people that are in tertiary.
No. Only higher education, but of
Right.
course, we have to have a relation with basic education and
Yeah.
our counterparts for the transition.
And what are some
Absolutely.
of the expectations that you guys actually have looking forward to the pass rates right now? Because I mean, we were studying during COVID. There were so many things that were going on. Some learners were complaining on social media the other day that their online classes were on WhatsApp. So it was such a different platform for different people. So what are the expectations for actually the matric results?
Look, first and foremost, we just want to commend the class of 2020, the matric class of 2020, for their resilience throughout that year. I think that matric class has faced enormous pressure that no other class since the democratic breakthrough has actually had. So we want to first and foremost commend them
Yeah.
for their performance. And secondly, is to say to them, whatever the result may be, it's not the end of the world. So of course we're going to be celebrating and congratulating those who've made it,
Yeah.
but those who haven't made it, and even those who've passed but who haven't actually received the results that they've actually wanted. So there are, of course, various avenues for young people to be able to go to in terms of improving their results. If they didn't, there's different programs that are out there. The TVET colleges offer programs that help you to improve your subjects. Institutions like Stellenbosch University has
Yeah.
got the Sky Math Us program that helps you improve your sciences and your mathematics. So that is what we're having. So when the results are announced, we of course are going to see what's going to happen. But as the South African Union of Students, together with all student representative councils in the country, we are going to be there to welcome our first years and also to assist those who actually haven't been able to make it.
Yeah.
So we are holding with bated breath what the minister is going to say this afternoon.
Do you have any relations with NSFAS? If so, how do you work together?
Absolutely. The National Student Financial Aid Scheme, NSFAS, is a stakeholder within higher education, and we have good relations with them. I mean, last year we had a joint campaign in terms of encouraging the matriculants of last year to apply because, of course, the applications would have closed the previous year. So the numbers have actually went up of people who have actually applied.
Yeah.
And you would recall that all young people, and of course it is meant for those who come from disadvantaged communities, of course. If you've got a joint family income of 350,000 and below, you do qualify to be funded by NSFAS for any course.
Yeah.
So we are going to be there to ensure that young people, also those, because there's also the group of students who actually did late applications to universities,
Yeah.
who are also then arguing that they also should get an opportunity to be funded if they qualify. Of course, you would have seen, I'm sure, a circular that was released by NSFAS
Yeah.
around issues of underfunding that they have. They've got a shortfall of about 9 billion rands. And the circular basically is saying there are certain courses that might be at risk at being funded or not. So we've already written to both the Department of Higher Education and Training as well as NSFAS to say we need an intervention.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, I'm sure you're aware that the Minister of Finance is going to be giving a budget vote. So we are actually considering to make a turn to say that no. Students need to be funded.
Yeah.
The achievement of free education cannot be rolled back.
Yeah.
I mean, education is an enabler, and through education, we can be able to transform our lives.
Yeah.
So we need to ensure that deserving students actually do get the opportunity to be able to study, and that is our stance, as it were.
Yeah, and
Or else hashtag fees must fall part 2.
I was about
It's
to
coming.
say that. I was actually going to roll you in, Aphelele, on this conversation, because I mean, these are some of the things that you stand for as the council, as the people who are standing for students. So if something like this were to happen, you have the right to exercise protesting. You have the right to do all these things. What does it look like right now in the conversations you're having?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity, first and foremost. Let me first fix something in the introduction that you made.
Yeah.
I was part of the SRC in 2019,
Okay.
not the previous year.
Yeah.
Currently, I'm the chairman of BASMA in UWC.
You're right.
I was, we are the voice of students. In each and every situation that we find ourselves in, I was to take the side of students
Yeah.
in everything that happens. So with the current circular that we are speaking about on NSFAS, it goes to show, man, the extent of which the lie that we attained free education in 2017 is. It goes to prove that it is a lie. So now we have to go back to your drawing board as student activists and to grow again and decide on the action forward, because now we must go back and say, now what we want is one. It is what we were trying for 2015, 2016, which is free decolonial education. Because the defunding of BED, for instance, goes to show how deep our education is yet to be decolonized and is very centric and central to capitalist intention, capitalist aims. Because these are courses that are not market related per se.
Yeah.
One would say they do not necessarily serve the purpose of capitalism. So therefore they must be defunded. But these courses, at the core of these courses, you'll find that these courses are courses that offer human service back to the community, which what education should be, in essence, a tool that we take from the universities back to our communities to educate our communities and to uplift each other. So, Utito Mboweni and Blade, we can't speak on these issues without mentioning these two names,
Yeah.
because these are the problems to our, these are the two people who are part and parcel of these problems, who are creating our problems. Blade, 2015, 2016, he was the minister of the HET, and we know what happened to him. He fell,
Yeah.
and then he fell and left a mess behind, and he comes back again to reiterate, and because he once said the students must fall, he was anti-fees must fall, he was anti all these gains that have been achieved now. So he's coming back into office to reverse those gains. You see, as students now, it's time to take up ourselves serious and go back to the drawing board, go back to the streets and call for free decolonial education in our lifetime. This pseudo free education that we attained, it must go away.
Yeah.
Sibusiso, should that happen, students, Ziti pens down, we're going to the streets, we're going to boycott, we're going to protest and stuff like that. Never mind that it had happened in the past, but now we are facing a pandemic, which limits the ability to be at our utmost best,
Yeah.
because people are learning online, there's virtual learning, something that is so foreign to the student
Yeah.
life. Should that happen as well, Sitibanisi protests, Sitibanisi struggles that we're facing because of COVID-19, the pandemic, how will that reshape inform year education in South Africa?
Yeah, no, that's a loaded question, but we will definitely try to answer that. I think first and foremost, we've defined this as this circular as an anti-majoritarian neoliberal offensive, because that is what it is. What does this mean? And we are saying that we ought to defend the gains of students that we've made since fees must fall up until now. One of the things that we've done as a union is to write to both the National Student Financial Aid Scheme
Yeah.
as well as the DHET as a first port of call, because the issue of mass action and shutdowns are a last resort that we take as responsible leaders, because we first want to engage and see what is happening, but definitely we will be, if need be, we are going to have to exercise our democratic right to protest, to defend this. I'm sure currently you are aware of the quarterly, the last quarter statistics that were released last year that says unemployment is at 30%, all-time high. And in the main, the people who are affected by that unemployment are young people.
the youth.
Yeah.
It's the youth. So there's no ways that we are going to fold our arms and accept this. I mean, this was a generational achievement that we had fees must fall. So we are not going to have a situation where government, without any consultation, can unilaterally take a decision to say that we are going to defund half of the students in higher education. It is a provocation of the highest order, and we will defend students, and we will defend the gains that students have made over the time. You do also speak about the form of education that we're offering. Of course, this education is happening within the framework of COVID-19. And the department has, of course, announced and encouraged institutions to offer what they call a multimodal form of learning. And one of our demands that we made last year, but still has not been delivered, is that all NSFAS recipients should be able to receive learning devices like laptops, right?
Yeah.
How do you do online learning and
And not have a
adapt
laptop.
without having laptop, without having data? So those are part of the issues that we are emphasizing to ensure that our students are taken care of. But the crisis is deeper than that, because we are speaking about those students who have a joint family income of 350
So,
and below.
there's more to chat about after the ad break, though. Don't go anywhere. Sibusiso bazobe bekhona.
CTV family, catch us.